Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As promised in the previous blog, this will be the continuation of the Azure AI where we will talk more about the Azure AI Foundry. So this Azure AI Foundry is a powerful tool that helps streamlining the governance and management activities of your AI projects. So let's explore the options that's available on the Azure AI Foundry. So I'm going to tell you like this Azure AI Foundry from my perspective. When I looked into it, there are two main topics, like which is the Azure AI Hub and the Azure AI projects. So when we talk about the Azure AI Hub, so this Azure AI Hub is the top level resource in the Azure AI Foundry. This is given basically for centralizing the governance, the security, and the resource management across your Azure AI projects. And you have the Azure AI projects, like this is the Azure AI projects or the child resources of the hub, which is providing isolated workspaces for building and customizing your AI application. And again, within the project, you have the required Azure AI services, the accesses, storage accounts, and the resources into it. So, but within the Azure AI project, I see there is a lot of options to train the model and then do a lot of other stuff. So that's the reason I decided to split this video into two. Today, we are going to look mainly into the Azure AI Hub, and then the next video we will look into the Azure AI project. So basically, this when looking into the Azure, the hub, the first thing is like you need to navigate to a.azure.com, and then you see like the project that you created. In our case, like we created the project, like created the first AI agent using the Azure AI service, and that's the reason we see the project over here. If you have not watched the how to create an AI agent service with the Azure AI service, we have there is a good blog that we have written. Just I highly recommend to take a look at the blog. So let's jump into the Azure AI Foundry. The first thing is like today we are going to see into the hub. So the moment when you click on the hub, this is the hub overview. On the left side, you have the management center. In the management center, you have a first thing is like the combination of all hubs and projects. So this is the place you look, like and have a overview of all the hubs and the projects that you have in your basically in the Azure AI projects. So in our case, like since we created just one demo, so we have just one project and one hub. You have also an option to create a new hub from here by using the click through button. That's an option. And the next one is the quota. The moment when you go into the quota, this is a very nice place, like where you would be able to manage the resource utilization. So like in this resource utilization section is the place where you can view and manage the quotas, usage metrics across multiple hubs, and also the Azure subscription. So on the right side, you also see like it provides an insights into the resource allocation and helps you to optimize the usage. So for example, in our case, like we deployed one resource, which is GPT 4.0, and then you see the location. And still, if you navigate on the right side, you see the one which we deployed in our blog was like 140K tokens per minute. If you want to edit the quota allocation, you can always just slide through this radio button, and you'd be able to edit your quota allocation. By default, it's 140K per minute for a 4.0. That's what I understand. But if you want, you can increase or decrease that value. So this is what you see on the quota level. And next to that, like you have the hub and also the project. So when you look into the hub, this is the overview of the hub, like where you see the name, and also the properties on which subscription it is deployed, and also the users and other stuff. So if you want to create further new projects, like for the hub, you will be able to create. This is also a project that you can create with the project name and other stuff. And if you see the users, these are the users who has the permission to access this hub. So, and also the models and endpoints. Here you have the models and endpoints, like where you can deploy it on the hub level. But ideally, I think this place is mainly used for governing the access. Like this is mainly used for security and compliance, and I think it's not a good idea to deploy the model on the hub level, because if you go to the deploy model, you see two options: deploy base model and deploy fine-tuned model. I think the difference between the base model. The base model is a pre-trained model that has been trained on a large general data set. Like it serves as the basic foundation for any further customization according to your business needs. But if you talk about a fine-tuned model is an enhanced version of a base model that is trained on a specific data set, which is tailored to a particular task or a domain. For example, let's talk about the GPT 4.0 model, fine-tuned for a customer service chatbots. Even the agent that we created in the previous blog, that also it looks like a kind of a fine-tuned model. Just correct me if I'm wrong. So this is what we see on this model, but it's not recommended to deploy the models on the hub level. And here you see the connected resources. Like we see, like it's connected to two Azure services and also to the two blob storage. It's interesting to note that if you see the authentication type, it's using the API key and the SAS tokens. Um, I'm not sure, like if you would be able to create a new connection type of any other methods. Like we see the API key, we see the custom keys, we see the SERP, and then we see the OpenAI models. Because I'm not sure if in this location we will be able to choose the manage identities, but let's explore and see the options in the next video, because I see only API key and SAS tokens or the authentication type in the previous model that we created. And when you come into the compute, of course, we don't see any compute here because it's in the hub level. So this is what we see it in the hub level. And next one, like we go into the content section of the project. So in the project, you see the models, which is the GPT 4.0, which we know it was created in the previous blog, and the project users. The moment when you click on new user and find the required user, and you can grant the role. Like for example, if you go to new user, and then if I type in any name, for example, those users would be showing here, and then probably can give the required roles over here. And also it shows the project properties, where it is deployed, with subscription, the resource group, and also you can get the API endpoints and keys, those kind of stuff. And if you see the connected resources, it also shows the connected resources. What are the connected resources over here? And here, like what we saw in the hub, here also you'll be able to create a connection to an external asset as well. These are the things that you will be able to define. And the last one is go to project, which one I wanted to take it as a different video on the next part, because you see a lot of things like the model catalog, the playground, the fine tuning and prompt flow. This would take some time, so that's the reason I wanted to keep it as a separate blog, not to combine this into the hub. So overall, what I see, the hubs in Azure AI is a central resource that helps your team to manage security, the connectivity, and also the computing resources across various projects and deployment. Um, so they streamline the setup and governance of the AI projects, and it's definitely making it easier for your teams to collaborate and explore, especially on the Azure AI part. So that's a quick tour of the Azure AI Foundry Management I wanted to give you. I hope this video helps you to understand the options that's available and how to utilize them effectively. If you have any questions or need any further assistance, feel free to comment below this video. And thanks for watching.